Iran has just received its first 4 Su-35s in its Army Air Force. Yes, you heard that right. These advanced jets have cleared flight tests, fresh off the assembly line, and word is 8 more are nearly finished, pushing the fleet total to 12. But here's the kicker. Why hasn't Iran blown the whistle about these aircraft? And why is the role of these Su-35s far more significant than you might think? Today, we're diving deep into a mystery that could reshape the balance of power in the Middle East. What's the most dangerous weapon in Israel's arsenal? You might immediately picture stealthy F-35s. But here's a twist. During Israel's Days of Repentance operation, its F-35s were reportedly locked by an unknown radar. Yes, locked! And because they didn't want to take any chances, Israel had to fall back on its most powerful asset, F-15s, armed with long-range air-to-ground ballistic missiles. Think missiles like the Rampage, a long-range precision strike system, Sparrow variants, or even the so-called Golden Horizon, all designed to allow F-15s to fly from Israel to Iraq, strike, and return without mid-air refueling. But why is this so important? Because it shows that sometimes raw power and extended range trump stealth. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Iran isn't content with building a fleet solely for air defense. Instead, Iran has a much more provocative plan for its new Su-35s. They're not just going to guard their airspace. They're eyeing a role that mirrors Israel's strategic use of F-15s in launching long-range precision strikes. But how can the Su-35 in its standard form compete? After all, it isn't originally built to carry the kind of long-range air-to-ground ballistic missiles we see on Israeli F-15s. So what's the plan? Iran and Russia have inked a 20-year comprehensive defense contract. And what does that mean? It means that, over time, Iran could gain access to the Su-35 source code, enabling them to modify the platform and integrate their own advanced weapon systems. Picture this, a modified hypersonic ballistic missile, perhaps a variant based on the Fatah-2, paired with a re-engineered version of the Fakor air-to-air missile, rumored to be modeled on the AN-54 Phoenix. Iranian officials even hint at doubling the Fakor's range to 300 kilometers. Plus, reports indicate that Iran is set to receive R-77M missiles with a 200 kilometers range and R-37M missiles stretching out to 400 kilometers. So, what does all this mean for Iran's capabilities? First, imagine launching hypersonic ballistic missiles from Iraqi airspace directly at Israel. With the Su-35's powerful radar, Iran could detect and neutralize Israel's early warning systems, such as the Arrow system with its ELM-2080S Super Green Pine radar and David Sling's ELM-2084 multi-mission radar, with pinpoint accuracy. But that's not all. These jets could also target Israeli and American fuel tankers operating in Syrian and Iraqi airspace, using long-range air-to-air missiles like the R-37M and the upgraded Fakor. And all of this could be executed while keeping the Su-35s safely within Iranian territory. It's a strategic game-changer that could make any potential Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear facilities nearly impossible. But why the secrecy? Why hasn't Iran publicly revealed its Su-35s yet? Iran, much like China and Russia, prefers to unveil its latest military achievements at the perfect moment. When Iran acquired the Yak-130, media buzz started early, but the official announcement didn't come until 4 months later. Moreover, Iran is holding back until it has a robust number of these jets, ensuring that its true capabilities can be demonstrated as a formidable force. Now, where will these jets be stationed? The likely answers are 3 key bases. First, Iran Air Force's 3rd Tactical Air Base near Hamadan, tasked with defending Tehran from potential Israeli strikes. Second, Eagle 44, a secretive underground airbase tucked away in the southern mountains. Third, the Isfahan Shikari Air Base. These bases aren't just locations, they're launch pads for what could become a major shift in regional air power. So, let's ask ourselves, if Israel's F-15s, armed with long-range air-to-ground missiles, can strike with surgical precision from afar, what happens when Iran gains similar capabilities with its Su-35s? This isn't just about air defense. It's a bold, calculated move aimed at reshaping regional power and deterring any preemptive strikes. With a strategic integration of indigenous weapons into the Su-35 platform, Iran could potentially launch hypersonic strikes from Iraqi airspace, target early warning radars, and even neutralize enemy fuel supplies, all while keeping its jets safely at home. But will this strategy tip the balance of power in the Middle East? Only time will tell. One thing is certain: Iran's plan is not what you might think. It's a daring play designed to redefine air combat and strategic deterrence in the region. Get ready, because the game is about to change.